Why the crown won't skip to Prince William even if some people want it. It's a question that some people have been asking for years. Can the crown skip a generation to Prince William? When King Charles Roman III has been monarch for less than a week, he has delivered well-received speeches, connected with crowds on his walkabouts, and seen his approval ratings shoot up dramatically. There has also been more than one problem with a pen and small anti-monarchist protests. While #NotMeKing has been trending on social media, but overall Charles has had a good start. There's no escaping, though, that he is not beloved like his mother, Queen Elizabeth Roman II, admired even by those ambivalent about the monarchy. And so the question persists about whether it would be best to leapfrog over Charles and give the crown to his eldest son, William. According to 26-year-old Lucy Eden, who was with her family at a pub in South London, said a lot of people wouldn't mind skipping Charles. They were discussing a viral video of Charles during his proclamation, pushing a pen tray toward an aide. Eden said Charles came across as holier-than-thou and not appreciating the position he is. William and Harry, they feel like they understand their position of power. They talk about mental health. They seem respectful. After all, at Charles' age, some might question that he will be unable to tackle royal tours with the same vigor as his mother, who was just 27 when she ascended to the throne in 1952. She immediately undertook a mammoth 6-month, 44,000-mile tour of the Commonwealth. While some viewed King Edward Roman VII's 1936 decision to renounce his title to marry divorced Wallis Simpson as sparking a constitutional crisis that nearly ended the monarchy, Charles will not feel the same weight of obligation as his mother to serve for life. It's possible we'll see more of a dual crown. The King and William splitting their duties, supported by Charles's slimmed-down monarchy of only a handful of fully paid ribbon-cutting royals. Just as Charles in the last 10 years began to share the Queen's duties as she became very old, so William can be expected to assume a growing share of Charles's duties as king. I would expect William increasingly to deputize for Charles in undertaking those overseas trips, as he's already started to do. For the past 2 years, when pollsters asked who should succeed as king after the Queen died, the preferred royal has been William. The late Queen always signaled her support for Charles's accession when she issued a public statement saying that it was her wish that Camilla, his wife, be known as Queen Consort. Abdication is a dirty word in the context of the British monarchy, but there are those who wish Charles would voluntarily retire at some point before his death. The idea gained traction after a royal trip to Canada in 2011. At the time, much was made of anti-monarchy sentiment in Quebec, where the Queen had been booed in 1964, and Charles and Camilla faced protests in 2009. But when William and Catherine visited shortly after their blockbuster wedding, the crowds cheered. Royal historian Robert Lacey noted, ever since then, the idea of Charles being a caretaker king, or of it jumping a generation, has been circulating. However, the professor of government and constitution at University College London confirmed that Charles made his personal declaration as part of his accession ceremony. His wording indicated very clearly that he expects to be king for the rest of his life. He didn't say, "I am not planning to abdicate any more than my mother was," but that's what I understood him to be saying. At the same time, William can be expected to take on more royal responsibilities. Charles has signaled that he wants a slimmed-down monarchy, fewer people meeting dignitaries, handing out honors representing the monarch on foreign trips. That could mean more leaning on William. However, Morris warned of the dangers of the royal family becoming a little too sparse. Such is the number of engagements that a monarch has to undertake that the 1937 Regency Act will urgently need to be extended to increase the number of members of the royal family able to act on his behalf. The Act currently only allows the 4, disregarding minors, family members next in line to the throne to effectively deputize for the monarch when the leader is ill, incapacitated, or out of the country. Both the King and Prince William will not attend the inauguration of Pope Leo XIV next Sunday. Buckingham Palace has said instead Charles's younger brother will travel to the Vatican to attend Pope Leo XIV's formal installation as Pope at a Mass in St. Peter's Square on Sunday. In addition, William takes over his father's Prince's Trust charity. That means he can add an unofficial title to his growing list, Chief Fundraiser. In the past, that role has gotten Charles into trouble.